So the minute he told me that I'll show you the fatherly love that you have lacked in your whole life, and I was like, no one has ever told me that.
Hata mimi si ningekuwa na mom, maybe ningemchapia story nimwambie hey, niaje hiyo loneliness and stuff. I decided to, why not, let me look for someone, maybe tunaweza pendana, tuone kama tunaweza growisha life together. And God blessed me with Whitney.
Do you feel, first and foremost, Kenyans have a right to question you on being 19 and pregnant?
No, they should not be questioning me now because it's a decision. Niliketi chini na nika decide on my own.
This is the way we have decided to write our story. Yeah, let's just write it. Yeah. Hata sisi to experience. Siku moja maybe tutakuja kuambiana kama it's right or it's not right.
You said you want to give her that fatherly love, right?
Yeah.
That's something you can never give someone though. You get it?
Yeah, sure.
That's something you can never give her.
Yeah.
All you can do is show up to her as her partner. For you, Whitney, you cannot be his mother. Very good morning to you and a warm welcome to LNS. I'm going to call this maybe Gen Z series. My name is Lynn Ngugi. I know a lot of you have seen my guests today and I know they are trending for the right reasons, the wrong reasons. Everyone seems to have an opinion of them. But then, you know, for me, I said, when even I got people tagging me, Lynn, just bring them on the show. The question was, how are we ever able to know who they are if we do not encourage having a conversation with them? I was just chatting with Whitney and I was telling her, Whitney, how far along are you, you know? And she was like, 7 minutes. I'm like, 7 what? It doesn't even show, you know? And I honestly love her skin glow. And I was telling her, if I knew at your age, I would not pressure myself, you know, just having makeup and all. They're just cool people to have a conversation with. So I'm about to let them introduce themselves and also take us through their story. But before I do that, you know, a girl has to say thank you to a couple of people here on the show. I want to start by our sponsors of today's conversation, Tap Tap Send. And now I know they are no strangers to the show. So if you are looking into sending money to your loved ones here, why don't you try Tap Tap? Send money to your loved ones here using M-Pesa or even their bank accounts. Fast, reliable, they have better rates, and you can be able to download their app. The information is pinned on the comment section. And also use my code Lynn to get 10% cash back off your first transaction. And of course, the team that gets to put this work together. I'm here with Scholar and Muga, and of course our incredible editor Sam. Asanteni sana for always coming through and to say thank you to you guys. Man, looks like we're about to hit 1 million subscribers. So if you are watching this and you've not subscribed, allow me to tell you subscribing is free. Hit that subscription button. It goes a long way into making sure that our work gets to reach a lot of people. And now, without further ado, please allow me to let these two beautiful people I have, or beautiful and handsome, introduce themselves. Hi.
Hi.
How are we?
I'm good.
How are you feeling?
Kinda nervous, but I'll be okay.
What is making you nervous?
I don't know.
Yeah, you're good?
Yeah, I'm
okay,
good.
Nice to have you. Yeah, how are you?
Hi Lynn, how are you?
It's the voice.
Yeah.
Put on the voice.
You know,
It's the voice?
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Okay, could you start by introducing yourself?
I'm Warren Frank. For those who don't know me, my IG, I call myself Warren Frank 254.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a Kenyatta student, 4th year currently. I'm waiting to graduate.
What are you studying?
Theatre arts and film technology.
No way.
Yeah, sure.
What inspired you to do that?
I really don't know. It was my dad's idea at first, but I came to love it. And back in high school, I was always live on stage, acting and stuff. So I decided, why not? Let me give it a shot.
So you're still telling me parents right now, they are telling you do this and that?
No, like my dad, I guess my dad is into this life career mentorship thing. He's a teacher by profession.
Oh, good.
So I guess he had studied my life,
Yes.
and so we were interested in acting and music production and being, you know, on camera and stuff.
Yeah. He saw something
And
in
he
you.
saw, and
Are
he
you-
advised me to go for it.
Yeah.
And I was totally happy because that is the cause that I felt could accommodate me.
Okay. Are you loving it?
I love it, yeah.
What do you love about it?
The fact that I can tell stories, different stories from, whether I'm a producer, an award-winning producer.
Hey, kidding me?
Yeah, sure.
Where?
I did a film from Kenyatta University, the final project that we did at school, and it won an award, so why not?
Congratulations. Now we're going to stand on business and say congratulations.
Yeah, thank
That's
you.
big. Don't shrink on your wins.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate your wins because they are your wins. Okay.
Yeah,
So
sure,
when you
yeah,
say it,
sure.
you say it proudly.
I say it proudly.
You get it?
Yeah, sure.
Yes,
Thank
you know.
you.
Congratulations.
Thank you so
All
much.
right.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the cost though?
It's the problem we have in Kenya. I guess it's not yet marketable as such. It does not guarantee a job opportunity for anyone doing it. It's like you're doing it, but you're risking your life on it. You're doing it, and you don't know if your tomorrow is guaranteed that you'll work for someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So you have to create again. You have to do it,
Yes.
and again create employment for yourself, maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
That way you get to go for.
All right. Look at her. She's blushing. How are you?
I'm good.
Okay. Could you introduce yourself and tell us what you do?
Okay, my name is Melissa Whitney Muniko.
Yeah.
Currently doing certified nursing assistant at Macmillan Technical College.
Yes.
I deferred from Kenyatta University. I was studying education.
Okay.
Yeah, the early childhood education. But I had to defer.
Yeah.
Due to my pregnancy. I had to take a short course, a quick course. Enye inge guarantee at least by the time the baby is born, at least I have a job somewhere.
Oh.
So that I can be able to take care of the baby.
Really?
Yeah, and myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
How hard or easy was it to defer?
It was hard. It was not really hard because currently what I'm doing, the certified nursing assistant, it has always been my dream to work at a medical, to do a medical course.
Okay.
In fact,
Yeah.
the first day we met, she lied to me that she was a nurse.
No way.
Just to find out she was a teacher.
She said she's starting to be a nurse.
Yeah, sure.
And you found out she was in education.
Yeah.
Okay. No, go on.
Yeah, sorry for cutting.
No, it's all
I
right.
had to say it.
Hey guys, ndio mapenzi ya watu wadogo. So yeah, we were talking about nursing.
Yeah, it has always been my dream to work at a medical field.
Yeah.
So the certified nursing, it's about taking care of the sick at the hospital.
Okay.
Yeah, it has always been my passion. Pia the education, pia city nilifanya bila kutaka.
Yeah.
Pia I love children a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sasa unaona Jude, I'm the only child kwetu.
No way.
Yeah.
Okay.
So kuna ile nimegrow nikipenda watoto sana.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's I wanted the course. Yeah.
Do you love children?
A lot.
How do you feel about the special one you're carrying right now?
Can't wait to have him or her.
Oh,
Yeah.
you've not tested out the gender yet?
We haven't yet.
Okay.
No.
We went for clinic at 12 weeks, so it was a bit earlier tungejua gender. So our next clinic ndio tutajua the gender of the baby.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're looking forward.
Yeah.
And Warren or Franca,
Yeah,
you've
Franca.
said you love telling people stories, right?
Yeah.
And now there are a lot of stories about the both of you.
Yeah.
When you see those stories being told first by other people, what do you think about the story that is out there about the both of you?
Sometimes I just look at it, and one regret that I usually have is maybe I feel like we couldn't have yet introduced our baby, the pregnancy news to the world yet. Because the first days when my baby was reading the comments, I could see how they were affecting us so much. At least nowadays I saw me, and we're here to show at least to tell our story. Maybe people will now understand us and get to know us who are we. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
How does it make you feel when you see the different stories that are being told about you guys out there?
Okay, there are people who are positive, and at some point, at least, I don't feel guilty for carrying this child at the age of 19. Yeah, and a 1.1 student.
Yeah.
So the negative ones, they a bit affect me.
you said she's not concentrating on the negative feedback. But let me go back to the story, because I think it's very important for people to understand you from your own narrative, and not the narrative that is being created out there for you guys. And I have a lot of questions, because I'm also sitting here and you've said, oh my God, you are 19, you know, and I'm like, a lot of people are first concerned because you are 19. You get what I'm saying?
But I've turned 20 today.
You turned 20 today? Today's your birthday. Oh, okay. 1 year older.
She's not a teenager anymore.
Happy birthday, Whitney. Thank you. How is your 20? How are the first hours of your 20? Were you looking forward to turn to 20?
No.
You wanted to remain 19? So
I'm getting old.
No, you're not. Aging is a blessing. Every time you age is it's just something to remind you that you are still here in this world, you know. Because if you're not aging, what are you doing? You're living this world, right? Yeah. So don't consider aging. Of course, there's always that fear when you're coming from 19 to your 20s. You're living the teens to the crazy 20s. And then you come to the humbling or the crazy 30s. Then you also enter the humbling 40s. So welcome to 20s, but most importantly, happy birthday.
Thank you,
Happy birthday, right?
Thank you.
Happy welcome to your 20s, okay?
Thank you.
So I was saying, it's very important for people to know you guys for your own narrative. I'll ask my questions later, but just to get a bit of background about you guys individually, could you walk us through maybe a bit of background, your life maybe?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
It's quite a long story, maybe. But hope you don't mind.
No, I don't mind.
I can take my time, right?
Take your time.
Okay. I'm born and raised in a village somewhere in Kisii, part of Kenya, maybe. Yeah, the only person in Kenya the only popular person I've seen in Kenya from my place, it's called Kebranchogu. It's the local part of Kisii.
Yeah.
Uko South Mugirango. Kuna huyo mpia naitwa Silvanus Osoro. I don't know if you know him, the whip, huyo ndio sasa our MP. I'm born from I come from a family, it's humble background, I could say, very humble. But at least my dad made it through the humble background, and he made sure that at least watoto wake wote wamefanya schooling. Yeah, I'm from a family of, can I say 7 members right now? Yeah. But I'll come later and say why I'm saying 7. My mom passed away back in 2018. Yeah, and he left us with our dad. But we later on advised our dad maybe to, you know, get someone at least to help him take care of my other siblings. I'm actually the firstborn. Okay. Yeah. And we shared so much memories maybe with my late mom, and because she was the only one who was there for us when we were growing up, you know, because my dad was maybe busy schooling and stuff, looking for a life somewhere, because they got married when my dad was a Form 4 leaver, and my mom, back then, she was just done with class 8. Yeah, she was around 16 years. So my dad had to go back to school to get admitted to campus and stuff, till he came back as a teacher. So you can imagine that bonding that we have grown up, just seeing our mother there for us, you know, like alikuwa like our best friend. And then things happened. One day, back in 2018, we just were from school and we got told that alikuwa ameweza kurun mad in our way, and it was kind of troubling my dad. Ilikuwa this 2018, like this period, mwezi wa 4 tu, I remember that is the last time we saw her, because the next time tumetoka shule, tumepigiwa simu kutoka shule, tukaambiwa she's no more. Yeah, after what happened about before she got pregnant, before she maybe, like walisema tutuli, it's a story that we are told that maybe kitu iliruka to some point because of the things that she was doing after my dad akiwa shule. Later on, I came to ask my dad really what happened last year, because that is the only time I've ever gotten a chance now to come back after 5 years and ask him what really happened that day. And he told me a story that maybe, I don't know if you're interested, someday I'll share.
Go on.
He told me that my mom my mom wasn't learned, so she was actually working on people's farms and doing people, kusaidia watu kusaidia kulima mashamba here and there, kusaidia work for the rich family, maybe kusaidia kukama ng'ombe and stuff. So there is this story that I hear and that nasikianga, that there is my uncle is so rich, so wako rich, at least my mom used to go there and work for them. So like before the grandmother wa your rich family did pass out, akufe, she left my mom, like they say, she left my mom like 3 pots and told her that, you know where I come from is a village life. So you know how people live in the village. Yeah, sometimes people wanafanyanga, kuna mambo zenye watu wanafanyanga maybe to protect their families, because then say ndio wase wanajaribu to live the old ways.
Yes.
Yeah. So I hear that na tukambiwa that there is that grandmother before akufe alikuja akachia my mom because she was close to her, akamwachia 3 pots, the story that I was told. So kumwachia 3 pots, I used to see them at home actually, the named pots actually. I can just came to realize the other day that those pots were actually a gift that my mom was given. But sasa watoto huyo mama hawakusikia poa, hawakusikia vizuri, kwanza msichana wake hakusikia vizuri kwa sababu she was like, hey, I'm close, mbona mamangu ni kama ile like inheritance, like anakutakia the future, good future ahead, anakutakia, alimpea akimwambia chukua hizi na umchungie wajukuu wangu, cause yeah. Then what happened actually ni later in life, my mom, hizo pots walikuja wakaziba home, the relatives and the sister alikuja kaziba home siku ya mazishi ya huyo shosha akizikwa. So later in life, sahi wakati tumegrow, hiyo 2018, my mom wakati alianza hiyo shida, kupelekwa kwa daktari, wakasema kwamba huyo daktari yule, I don't know how they call them, the traditional doctors, akasema kwamba it's kuna kitambo, kuna before shosho fulani akufe, aliachanga kama amewachia this and this spots, where are they? So my dad went back home in the village, akajaribu kuongelesha wale watu, kuambia hii ndio imefanyika na tunataka juu peace, mama party peace of mind, juu aliachiwanga what's akiambiwa yeah, that protect for the generation for me maybe. But what they did, the woman actually, the lady, she passed on the other day. What she did, she went, they bought pots somewhere, walienda tu wakachukua mapots tu, wakazipaka rangi and wakaletea dad. From there tukakujanga, mamu kama akatulia kiasi, so sisi akakuja home, tukachill. Sasa ilikuwa ishafika hiyo mwezi wa 4, ndio ilikuwa ishafika hiyo April holiday. The last thing alifanya ni alitupelekanga church, we got baptized. Actually that is the last thing that I remember she did for us. And then we went to school. So kuna 2 day fulani tukitoka shule, so ndio tukaambiwa the news that she passed on. And the woman didn't, hata hakukuja mazishi, the whoever woman mwenye did that to her.
So you think walimrushia kitu?
Not really walimrushia kitu. It's like it was easier because my mama alikuwa anakuwa wazimu, and the way she died was not we were told that ametoka tu akaenda soko sijui kununua nyanya, akaona mama fulani kumsalimia, akaanguka chini akakufa tu kwa soko. And that was the story that we were told. So story mimi I quite get off my head totally, na sikuwa jua nitauliza nani, because burial after tumetoka shule tumekuja home, tumeenda burial, ikateka kama just 1 week. Nikaambia tu dad, acha tu nirudi shule, juu that time I was in form 4, I was preparing for my exams. Nikaambia tu dad, acha tu nirudi shule fiti tu. Yani I didn't believe that his story yote imehappen. I just felt like I quite exist. Yeah.
So you avoided even looking up, ku feel what you needed to feel.
Yeah, but sasa 5 years ago, later after nimemaliza shule, nikiwa tu peke yangu, kwa feel hiyo story inani affect, now that the fact that nimerudi home kutoka shule, sasa unapata home hakuna mambo kumbe.
Yeah. But dad was able to put you through university?
Yeah, sure. He was, that was the dream, because nakumbukanga tu mama akisema mimi sirudi shule, juu my dad alikuwa anamencourage arudi shule sasa after give birth to us, but akasema watoto wangu watanisomea. And one sacrifice that I always say I'm proud of my dad ni he sacrificed everything that he has so that sisi tusome, hata hajajenga nyumba actually. Yeah.
So he do you think dad is proud of you?
Yeah, he talks to me every day. And he's very
Okay, it's okay. Here we do that.
Let me get some water.
You want some water? Not some serviettes.
Yeah.
Okay. It's allowed. It's allowed. He's proud of you.
Yeah, he's proud of us because tumesoma, nimemaliza shule, si ati nimeachia katikati despite the challenges zimekuwa, unajua tena kusoma Nairobi. Mzazi akana watoto 5, you can imagine, akana watoto 5 tena muongeza wengine 2. You can imagine the challenge. So hata pocket money and stuff inaweza kuwa hard kupata. So kitu ilikuwa inafanyika actually ni I felt like there is a time last year I was losing it totally kabisa. Hata kuna time niliingia drugs and stuff. I was losing it kabisa juu mimi ndo niko ile home, anything kitu mbaya kihappen kwangu na baki hapa and I'm like, hata mimi si ningekuwa na mom, maybe ningemchapia story nimwambie hey, niaje. Ndo hivyo tu, I felt like your loneliness and stuff. I decided to, why not, let me look for someone, maybe tunaweza pendana, tuone kama tunaweza grow life together. And God blessed me with Whitney.
Ukapata na Whitney.
Yeah, and right now she's carrying my baby.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you feel like she's your safe space?
Yeah. She gives me like purpose of life. She makes me feel like life is worth it, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So by the time she was coming into your life, you were pretty messed up. You were doing drugs and stuff.
Yeah, sure. I was like actually from a past relationship.
Okay, you can put it there. You can just put them there. It's okay.
Yeah, I was actually from like a past relationship that had lasted like 2 years, and ndio tulikuwa nimeachana na like kama 3 months, 4 months. The other partner hata ni kama she wasn't like understanding my life, you know. But I feel like Whitney was understanding my life because you know we shared a story, story, because she lacked a dad in her life too. And I was gonna be there. I told her the first day. Actually, our love story was funny.
Okay.
We started dating on it's like we started dating on the first day after we shared our story to each other. I told her I'm gonna make you mine the first day, and she was like, really? Yeah.
Okay. How long have you guys been together?
It's 7 months actually.
7 months.
Yeah.
So 7 months. All right. It's okay. We'll get there. Whitney, when you see him, sahi anaweza ji-express, anaweza sema, this is where I've been, I've struggled with this, and this is where I am right now. How does that make you feel, and why do you think anasema unamuelewa?
Okay, he says that namuelewa in that tukianza kudate, the time I met him, alikuwa anakunywa sana, and he was smoking a lot. And since tuanze kudate, we have been talking through things and everything. At least nowadays, ameacha totally. He does not drink. Maybe when he drinks, maybe ile once in a while. Once in a while. Yeah, but pia he tells me I give him peace of mind. Like anatulia, ana mtu anamstress. Yeah, plus and he says that I take good care of him by cooking for him.
Oh, he likes your food.
Yeah, he loves it so much. Yeah, tunaweza hata pigana akiniambia, we are not buying food today, I want you to cook for me. Yeah. And yeah, we share a lot of things.
Yeah.
We have tried as much as possible to share memories pia. Yeah, plus his stories, the stories from his place kwenye ametoka, ameniambia a lot of them, to hizi sema zote hapa. Unaona, enyewe anahitaji mtu anamuelewa. Like person tu atampea peace of mind.
Sorry.
Ndo at least atulie kwa peace of mind, hata yeye hakuna mtu anampea stress.
To grow pamoja.
And we
grow
grow
pamoja.
together.
Yeah, exactly.
Niko na hiyo vision
That's
ya
our
kugrow
vision,
pamoja.
grow pamoja.
All right, but he has told us something about him. Now at least we are able to understand him from a deeper perspective. You, from the place you are comfortable in, could you tell us something about you before you met him, and why you also feel like he's the right person for you?
Okay. Okay, I'm from Murang'a.
Yeah.
Yeah, nasijala. Okay, yeah, I have my mom, but she has to work abroad so that I can study, have pocket money. At least juu hata sisi we are not that well off.
Okay.
We come from a humble background. So my grandfather wasn't able kusomesha watoto wote, including my mom. So mom alifika form 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she had to drop out. Not to drop out, like alimaliza the form 4. So alina sister mwenye amemfuata hangeitikia kumwacha ezina singe shule, like yeye apelekwe campus. Mwingine abaki nyumbani. Sister yake mwenye amemfuata ndio alikuwa anaingia form 1. So compare opportunity, so she had to go try something out there venye she could have some money anisomeshe. But I love my mom because nimeona ake struggle sana ndio nisome in one of the best schools, as in I get the best education as possible. She's my role model. I love how she fights for herself. Even though my dad has never been there in our life ever since I was born, I've never had a father.
Okay.
It's only me and my mom. So no matter, my mom has never been that close to me, like receiving that motherly love. But she loves me. I know she loves me a lot. That's why she had to go abroad, tafute kazi, niweze kusoma. So I've been staying with my grandparents in Murang'a.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm always proud of her.
Yes.
So much.
Yeah.
So I hope.
Is she proud of you?
I would say she's proud at the moment. But then my mom right now, she's very supportive. And maybe we are under people who are talking negative side. Just focus on you guys and be strong. Yeah.
Does she talk to Warren?
Yeah,
We
they talk.
Mnaambiana nini?
We talk. She usually tells me, actually yeye unipeanga your advice, yeye alinipewa advice kama ya let not Melissa be reading the text. Hizo comments at least I can read if kuna kitu yote, because I feel like I can handle it.
Okay.
Yeah, but tunaongeaga sana.
Okay.
Tunaongeaga, she text me. Unaona hata tukitoka hapa, I'm sure she's gonna text me. Ukipost hii interview, she's gonna text me. And tell me to look after her.
Let's talk about you. You know, he says he met you at his lowest. Only meet aje na what made you say this is the one?
Okay. Ndio nimeingia campus.
Yeah.
I did
KU now.
Yeah, Kenyatta University. Hata sikuwa nimemaliza like a week or niko nimemaliza like a week. Yeah, I remember. So tumepatana tu, this guy comes, starts telling me, oh, I've loved you and everything. And I'm like, ilikuwa kwa text. He texted me like, oh, it's feel like I've loved you. We have alin text vitu kadhaa hapo, so I'm like, okay. So he came at my place, tukaongea more, we got to know each other more. So ndio akaniambia, oh, I've loved you, and okay, me at first sikumpenda.
Okay.
I just liked him.
Hakukuwa na tule tu butterflies. Like, oh my God, la mujer de mi vida.
No. To get to know each other more, and that night niliona pia we share a lot. So the minute he told me that I'll show you the fatherly love that you have lacked in your whole life, I'll be here to to show
Take care of
that,
you.
yeah, take good care of you, show that fatherly love that you have lacked. And I was like, okay, no one has ever told me that. No one has ever told me that. So I kind of felt like he meant it.
Is it something you've been willing to hear from someone?
Yeah.
Have you always wanted to maybe even ever see your dad or talk or have a father figure? Is that a gap you had?
Yeah. So when he told me that, I just felt like, yeah, maybe you might be the right person to
be with me.
Show me that fatherly love that I've lacked. And that's when I said, let's start dating.
Namkaanza.
Yeah, and get to know each other more.
Yeah. Warren, when you say fatherly love, what did you mean? And what made you say that to her?
Yeah, sure. The moment actually I asked about her life, and she broke down the first day. So I was kind of, you know when you're in your worst moment, you're always kind of trying to go out there, have fun, and then come back to the house. So that day, and I said, like, for the first time I felt like, hey, I'm not gonna just use someone's daughter and then let her go. Because this one was so genuine to me the first day we met. Actually, kitu ilifanyaga kwanza niko interested waza kumsikiza. From the moment that we meet, alinitreat fiti. Nilikuwa nimeenda kuwasalimia, alikuwa na beshte yake. Beshte yake akaniongelesha na ile madharau, but she was nice to me that day, and I felt, yeah, she was genuine. So I wanted to make her feel good. I wanted to make her feel what it means, like having a dad, like someone who takes you out on outs, spoils you, because she didn't have a dad, and she was also in a bad relationship, like we say. She was also from a bad relationship. Yeah, so I felt like she needed someone to be there for her. Yeah, someone to show her around the school, because she felt vulnerable. She was new to school. It's not like I was trying to take advantage, because if I wanted to take advantage, I could have gone the first day, because she was weak to me. Yeah, true.
Yes.
If I wanted to take advantage of her, I could have taken it and left. But her story just kind of touched me. I felt like this is someone who will understand me. I miss someone in my life. I miss my mom, and she miss her dad. So she's gonna give me that. If I show her that fatherly love, definitely she's gonna be like a mom to me. Yeah.
How is the relationship? Because the baby is 7 months. You guys, you've been together for 7 months now. So
we're starting 8 months actually. So tulipata mtoto hapo like first month. So kiendelea kuishaisha. Tulijua actually tuko na ball like November last year, date first. Na tulikuwa tumeanza kudate on September date 6th.
Yeah. So you knew after, so you dated kidogo and then oops, something
unplanned. And I wasn't gonna leave her in the streets with my ball, I told her move in with me.
Okay.
It's that life now.
Tell me, how was it when you guys first found out she's pregnant?
The first day, actually, the day that we found out that she was pregnant, I wasn't at home actually. I'd gone to play some pool table, and it was on a weekend.
Yeah.
And I'd left her at home to maybe prepare something for me, and because I was coming back later the day. And then later she texted me, it was around 10 p.m. She texted me, she told me, hey, I'm pregnant and stuff. So first nilikablutik kwanza hizo news. Juu sikuwa nataka tuziongelele kwa simu. Nilikuwa na feel they are big news. Why not? Acha nikam tuongee face to face. Nikaacha tu kucheza pool, immediately nikachukua bolt nikaenda home. I guess hapo ndo tukabonga, tukaongea tu, tukasema tukaacha ku hide secrets from each other. Sikuwa nimejua about her mom, tena yuko Kenya, you see. Alikuwa amenishingi tu my mom wanafanyanga kazi ya kuuza mboga and stuff. She wasn't okay telling me anything about her mom. So that day at least pia nikajua, okay,
my mom is not around.
Her mom is not also around. So it's me. It's gonna be me who's gonna be there for her. Yeah, tukaamua tu kukeep.
Yeah.
Tukasema hatuwezi fanya pia abortion. Pia alikuwa pia at least naweza jipusha hapa na pale ni manage craze kuwa feed, you know. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How was it like for you finding out you are pregnant, and were you like anticipating?
At first I was scared. Just felt like I've failed my mom, and I've just felt I disappointed her so much. So hata hiyo day niliketi tu kwa toilet seat, nilikuwa nimeshikilia pregnancy kit, natetemeka, nalia. I just feel like going crazy and everything. But when I texted Warren, now the blue ticks, sasa ndizo zilikuwa zinaniongezea even more tension, yeah, na anxiety. So I'm like, we, sasa mimba ni mimi nimeachwa nijilele. So, but the good thing he came, we talked through it. Even the first day we started dating, aliniambia tu any chance tu nishike tu mimba, tusiwaitwa, tuile tu. We just keep the pregnancy. We believe in one thing, every child comes into this world with a purpose, and it's a blessing from God.
Yeah.
So that's why we decided to keep this baby. Yeah.
All right. Was protection, was maybe using protection something that you guys had considered? And at your age, you know, what are some of the things they tell you about sex, you know? Like, what did you know about it, especially you? And did you think maybe, can we use condoms or something?
Okay, we just
Actually,
we just used condoms on our first day.
Okay.
The first day,
Yeah.
we had it. That was the only day we had we used condoms. So therefore ndio tukadecide twende clinic tupimwe the STDs, the UTIs and HIV.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so everything turned negative. So that's why we decided to
Do it.
So my mom had told me at first nisiende the
Family planning,
because I'm still young.
Yes.
Neza kuwa infertile.
Yeah.
Ama it cause infertility ama cancer or something. So we decided at first kwanza tutulie.
We used to believe we can pull out.
Withdraw.
Yeah, withdraw. And then, so this day it was towards the end of the month. You are safe days, and we said, let's risk it today. You're on your safe days. You just finished your safe days. So ni kama tukapiga hiyo calculation.
Mkaona tuko na time hapa.
Tukapitisha
na siku moja.
Na kama siku moja badala ya siku kama siku 3 we went to the 4th day.
Yeah. Then there we go.
Health broke.
Let me ask you about withdrawal.
Yeah.
Is it something a lot of young people believe in as compared to maybe things like condoms or, you know, family planning, P2s? Do a lot of people love in your age? Are they doing the withdrawal part?
Yeah, sure. Me, my friends, when you tunaongeanga, you know, boys, we have this discussion. We always have the sex discussion part. Wengi wanasemanga ni withdrawal, but watu wengi, vijana wengi, I guess, they used to withdraw. Yeah, and it can mess you up.
Okay, but it's also good to hear wengi mnaenda kupimwa.
Yeah,
you are going to check on the UTIs. Yes.
Yeah, the good thing we did is we got tested.
Okay.
The first day,
Yeah.
At least tukajua tuko safe.
Is that something a lot of young people are doing? Kushikana mnasema twende ndio tujue tunacheza side gani?
Sidhani kama vijana wengi wanafanya. Vijana wengi baadaye hukuja kurealize. Baadaye ikisha happen, maybe sasa ndio wanataka waende sasa kupima hiyo siku. Maybe sasa ikipatikana huyu partner maybe ako positive, mtu aje con peps maybe.
Oh, okay. So that's something at least watu sai wanajaribu kufanya.
Watu wanajua kwamba ukimess up kuna repercussions zitakuja. So maybe umemess up, yes. So chukua huyo mtu umemess up na yeye, enda na yeye hospitali, pima. Akiwa maybe hayuko sawa, utapewa dawa, si ndio? I believe that kuna dawa zenye mtu pewa.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It's good we are learning also.
Yeah.
But you know, you've spoken about Sai life iko bado mmeshikana. But also in the 7 months, what are some of the challenges mume experience kama couple na mnazisolve?
Sure. Tume experience a number of challenges.
Because mnajuana bado.
Yeah, tunajuana bado. Tume experience a number of challenges, but mimi naweza sema challenges mingi zenye tume experience ni za utoto tu. Kama kwa mfano yule maybe unajua ati sijafunga kabati and stuff.
Haya.
Ati nimeacha chumvi. You know, sijarudisha chumvi pale ilikuwa and stuff. Maybe saa zingine maybe kuna place amenidanganya kitu na nikakuja kufind out kweli. So tutapeana silent treatment kwanza hapo kama ya siku mzima. Baadaye jioni utamsikia kuko kwa room ana enjoy status ya na view, anacheka maybe utaboeka. So you have to mtafute tena ujaribu ku reconcile. Mimi naweza sema hatujapata big challenges, like hatujapata like you see our love is still young.
Yes.
So we are like we're living in a movie.
Same honeymoon stage.
Yeah.
We
talk good to each other. If you watch our TikTok videos,
yes,
hizo goodbyes unasikia they're real. They're even last hizo ni videos tulikuwa tunafanya hata tukianza, zingine nikakuja kujua kumbe watu wanapenda tukipost. Mbona hii ni maisha yetu ya kawaida. Let's just put it out there. It's mostly hatujafikia kupata challenges kubwa. Yeah.
Do you still feel the way ulimfilia siku za kwanza?
Yeah.
What do you feel? What do you still look at him and think he's giving you that protection?
Yeah.
Challenges gani mmekuwa nazo?
Maybe tu hizo tu.
Kitu anafanya na kubosa hiyo unashindwa. What the hell is this? Yeah.
The minute tu anaingia kwa nyumba, hata hataki kujali kwenye meka viatu, nguo tu anatoa neka anywhere. So he's always expecting me nikuje tu nizitoe, like kupanga kitu. It's not a big work.
It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Panga yourselves.
Then time niko shule, unapata vyombo tu zimepailiwa hapo. So zimengoja nani?
You.
Yeah. But sasa juu niliamua tu take this road. So I'll have to keep with it. Yeah. So okay. Yeah, maybe so. And kuacha makabati tu. Kuna ile tu anaweza fungua kabati.
Yeye ndio wa makabati?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Anaacha open. So tumeshi kubishana sana.
Na clinics mnaenda pamoja?
Yeah, tunaendanga pamoja.
How is it like?
It's fun. Ndio ukisikia heartbeat za mtoto once na inakuanga fun, but me enjoy the process. I actually enjoy the process. You say pia unaona niko free and she's still young, so I have to.
Yes.
Plus your confidence, you have your guy there, you know, kupeleka clinic, that ka feeling. Good. It's always amazing, very amazing.
His presence is everything.
Yeah.
You feel good?
Yeah, very good.
Okay.
Yeah, I just enjoy. Every time tuko na clinic, there are appointed dates. He's always, lazima make sure tu ametafuta time.
Okay.
We go.
Na kusurvive, muna survive aje? Mko na job? Nani yako na job hapa sasa?
Okay, the fact is mimi since tuningie first year KU, unajua sasa huko mzazi tena anakutumia 300 kwa wiki, so itabidi tu hata ujituma hapa na pale. So gistu ile kujipush, kuna sometimes unapata umepatana na writing accounts, but if you know them, that's what we hustle from. Do writing, and at least sasa tumegrow. Tumeget to employ some few colleagues here and there. Then to our campus, at least unapata per page badala unapewa 700 kiasi ukifanyia mtu assignment ya online writing. Ukipewa 700 kuna mtu ameifanya unampea maybe 300 ubaki na hiyo nyingine.
Hiyo 400. So una make a profit.
Yeah, una make a profit. of it.
So
So sasa hii nilinuanga actually nili struggle ile tu hapa na pale kuuza bundles, hata bundles mwitu unauzia, tunatembea hostels. Actually tulikuwa tunatembea na yule boys wangu huko. Tunatembea sana ma hostels, unanoka hapa unaambia wase hey ni aje tunauza bundles mwitu. Watu wanatujua KU anaweza kwambia tulikuwa tunauza bundles mwitu 2GB tulikuwa tunauza na kama 150.
Wow.
1GB 100. Yeah. So per day ulikuwa unapata tuweza pata 2K. Ile 2K kila mtu ya kujisota hapa na pale. Ili sasa ujanja pia ika increase kwa kuja nikapatana na wase ukiendelea kuuza. Unaambiwa hey leo unaweza fanya hivi, chukua tafuta maybe kama 50K kusaidia kupata account yenye utakuwa ukiwakia. Yeah, that's how we make it.
And how is business?
Right now it's not so cool because accounts they end up kufungwa. We survive, but at least kuna zenye nimesave hapa pia. Yeah,
so rent mnaishi pamoja?
Yeah, okay. Venye sasa alitoka KU, alimove in. But sasa tena siku hizi anasoma college kwa hapa Tao, Macmillan. Hiyo short course yenye anateka. So najua hawezi manage kutoka hapa kutoka Garden City hadi huko kila asubuhi akienda class. So na vingi kukaa huko hostel hadi Friday alafu ndio come.
Okay.
Weekend.
All right.
Yeah.
How is that like kuwa away from him kidogo?
I feel depressed sometimes.
Hata ishangi by the Friday ishangi nasikia Wednesday ashaka. So hata hiyo wiki ishangi. It's
not easy juu sometimes kuna hii pain. Ukuja huku you need some massages. Ya pia miguu zikifurafura hivi nahitaji mtu wa kukumassage. Yeah, plus his presence around me at least inatumanga nisi feel guilty kubeba mtoto. So the minute I'm away I'm like what is he doing? Will I go over the weekend nipate niligeuka.
Oh my God. Kuna venye una feel hivyo. Kuna venye unakuwa scared inaweza happen.
Yeah, kuna hiyo fear. I don't know why it comes. I guess
ni watu unaona hizi comments zenye wase wamekuwa kimwambia ati kushua ujitia mko sawa. So ameanza kuwa insecure siku hizi sana but she needs to be assured. Yeye ndio mama sahi.
Yeye ndio mama.
Guy. Ndio mama.
Wewe ndio mama. Sawa.
Na
pia napenda akiona pia katoto kakimove. Yeah.
Kuna hiyo connection. Okay. Do you know some people have said you have a child also?
Okay,
you are baby daddy.
The thing, hiyo story, but they were so wanasema hiyo story na hiyo story si ukweli. What is the truth, Lynn? 2 years ago, I was still ndio nilikuwa nimemaliza hiyo high school.
Yeah.
So nilikuwa nimepata job at least ya kufunza. Na hiyo shule yenye dada anafunza. So nikapata hiyo in the process nilipata mtoto, a boy. But unfortunately 1 year later alipass and I was there. Mimi I was there. I went tukanunua coffin. I was there. I buried him.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, he was called. He's resting right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So hiyo story yenyewe tunasema ati niko na mtoto, nashangaa mtoto yupi.
Ati umeachanisha mtoto
tuko na peace. Tuko na peace hata na the mom. Juu ili happen ile time ili happen 2 years ago na nilikuwa nisha take responsibility hadi kwa walikuwa shanijua. So hadi waniruhusu niende kuzika. So kumaanisha walikuwa shanijua ndio.
Okay. Mlimzika kwenyu?
Tulimzika kwa kina dem.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you were present.
Kwa sasa tuko tumeona.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you were present.
I was present.
It was a boy.
She's even proud of me, sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You had a kaboy ama a kagal?
It was a boy. His name was Prince Warren.
All right.
Yeah,
May he rest in peace.
Yeah, sure. He's resting in peace.
He's resting in peace. Yeah. That's good to clear off.
Hata hiyo story niliambia my dad. Hata Whitney before tuanze kudate nilikuwa nishamwambia. So it's not new to her.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe watu wenye wako wanajua, ni watu wenye walikuwa wanajua niko na mtoto but maybe hawakujua alipass. But alipass away. Walisema ni pneumonia and stuff. I told my dad, but everything I do I tell my dad because again he plays that role of my mom and dad at the same time. So nikamwambia, hey dad, kuna hii story imehappen, nimelose mtoto wangu but nakamkumzika. Juu alikuwa shasikia niko na mtoto pahali pia yeye.
Yeah. So it was not a secret.
Yeah, it was not a secret. Kuna siku niliamua nisiweke secrets.
How did you process that?
The news, they were hectic because nilikuwa ndio sasa nilikuwa kwanza like ndio nilikuwa nishaanza sasa ile kwa like ndio mtoto unajua alizaliwa before afike time. So ndio alikuwa ishaanza kushow up like ameanza sasa kuwa mtoto. Unaona sasa ameanza kuwa mtoto. Fit, and that is the time he left. So it was heartbreaking.
Okay.
So it was so heartbreaking because then unajua before azaliwe it was hectic for the mother also. Hata mimi sikuwa expect hata sijui.
All right, it's okay.
So
it's okay,
yeah.
You know. Yeah, but now we have a baby here.
Yeah.
How
and
do
we
you
need to be happy for them. Yeah.
How do you feel about the gift here?
First,
what scares you and what makes you strong about it?
What scares me siku hizi kwanza venye watu kwanza wanaanza kuongea kwa internet. Unajua venye kuwa mzazi ni hectic. Unajua are you really ready to be a parent? Unajua venye sijui mtoto upata ugonjwa ani nini kesho nini. So I'm also scared that what if right now sasa kesho basi ifike hii hustle yenye na kutoka kwake haiko basi. Maybe. So maybe how will it be?
So again, the finances.
Kurudi home, maybe nitahave tena kurudi ushago juu. That is where unaweza raise mtoto maybe bila stress. And I don't want to go home right now empty-handed. Sasa tuende tena kukula pesa ya mzee. Ile kidogo yenye imebaki. Hiyo ndio kitu nisikia sana. But apart from that, I see good. It's the best news. Because then again, I told you, nilikuwa na feel nimefika ile point sina purpose juu. Sina hata kitu ya kujali, but right now at least nikifanya kitu before nifanye nafikiria kesho nenda kuna kama mtu pahali kanakuja kesho. Ile pesa nilikuwa naenda maybe kupiga nao sherehe, at least nasema acha nifiche kidogo. Huyu pia siku hizi anakula sana. Anakula sana but hakuna appetite mingi sana. I guess mwili yake inataka kukula. Yeah, inataka kukula, so lazima pia manijua kuli pia vitu mingi. Huwezi anza kumulisha masukuma hapo. Unajua lazima umulishe kama baby girl bado.
Yes, soft life.
Yeah, glow.
Yes, na glow. Soft life.
Ndio, but they are true. Me, but I'm one person mwenye the other part, apart from the sad part of our family, the other good part of our family is nimeona my dad akiwa present in the life of my mom, like before hata akuwe na do hadi akakuwa na do hadi tukagrow fiti. So why not, mbona pia mimi nisi juu unajua boys una grow up ukiona wewe una treat mom fiti. But hata mimi siku moja pia mimi maybe nita treat mtoto wa mtu hivyo, nisikie feeling ni gani. Yeah, that's awesome.
Your feeling iko aje?
Iko fiti, make mtu smile akwe proud of you. Hadi introduce kwa mzazi. It's not easy. Yeah, she's I see how she's confident in me and she believes in me.
Yeah.
Inanifanyanga, najipush.
Unajipush.
Yeah.
Dad umemshow?
Yeah, dad nimemshow.
Alireact aje?
My dad actually is one person mwenye yeye ndiye alikuwa kwanza anatupeanga advice. Yeye alikuwa na believing ni kama tunaweza jiwestia life tusipokuwa responsible. So he was like get someone as young as you are right now. Ndio mtu kiwanga energetic ukiwa young ndio uko na nguvu ya kutafutia watoto wako. I guess anatakanga story yake maybe kwa kama yangu in a way, and I find it good.
Okay. You love his story.
I love his story. Yeah.
Okay.
It motivates me. Why not? Yeah.
Mama alisema aje?
Okay, since my mom wasn't near, I had to text her. Yeah, but nilizima simu because I knew hangekuwa proud. Not proud, but happy.
Ingemshock.
Yeah, kabisa. I'm the only child. Nimempelekea nusu niko na mimba that niko 1.1. Unaona, you just feel too very ange-react. So I texted her, nikamaliza like a whole week without texting her. Nilikuwa tu nimezima simu.
Yeah.
A whole week. Kwanza ni
a process.
Yeah, a process, a cool down and everything. So meanwhile nilipatia warrants namba ya mom. Kamwambia je hata wewe ongea na yeye ujaribu tu venye ata cool down kiasi.
Yes.
So they talked. Mimi hata sikuwa nauliza walikuwa naambiana nini, but later after that week imeisha kaniambia tumeongea na your mom, she is okay. Hata mimi aliniambia it's okay since you are a big girl now, ushachukua ID and everything, just make your decisions wisely. Na siwai asiwailetoa responsibility sio yake. So we have to look for online jobs.
Nyinyi sasa mjipange.
Yes, tujipange tukiwa na Warren wenye tutalea mtoto. Tusimpeleke hata huyo mtoto. Like
blessings amewapea lakini
msimjaribu. She has blessed us by the way, but say she's okay.
Yes.
She's okay kabisa. Even the negative comments tuna receive, she's telling me just keep going my girl, I know you can, mutapita through this. It's the minute tumeingia kwa social media now that you have become kind of famous.
Yes.
Not everyone will love you.
Yes.
But keep going. You just fight. Na najua mtafunguliwa milango somewhere. Mtakuwa maybe brand ambassadors mahali.
Okay, that's nice.
She's positive. Yeah, she's positive now. Yeah, she believes tutakuwa mahali somewhere.
So aka accept pia kukuchangisha shule. Ufanye course
the short course.
Wow.
She was
alisema wewe the minute I told her mom to change your course, she was like it's okay. It's okay. Mimi kusomesha sitakata kukusomesha. Nitakusomesha hata ukifika 30 years. I'll still be here.
Wow.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel, wow, I just love my mom.
Let's talk about the big girl. Your mom tells you you're a big girl after breaking your news, right? But now what Kenyans are divided about is your age. You are 19 and pregnant, Whitney. Why? Why not? You know, how? Talk to us about you. Do you feel, first and foremost, Kenyans have a right to question you on being 19 and pregnant?
Okay, no. They should not be questioning me now because it's a decision. Niliketi chini na nika decide on my own. I didn't tell anyone to help me decide it. So the decision I've made, no one should be. Hakuna mtu anafaa kuja ati kwanza kunijudge, being rude, kuniambia utalii itokea na mapua. No, it's a decision I've made. Na najua I know what's coming ahead. I'm ready for it. Whatever happens.
Okay.
I'll just be ready.
Wani watu tu maybe wanakupea advice cause wamepitia hapo and they know how it turned out.
Okay, I believe kila mtu ako na path yake.
Good.
Yeah. Okay, kuna path huyu alipitia yake ikafail akachwa na mtoto, but you never know what God has planned for us.
Yeah, sure.
We never know if God has planned. Nyinyi, I want to.
This is the way we have decided to write our story. Yeah, let's just write it. Hata sisi to experience. Siku moja maybe tutakuja kuambiana kama it's right or it's not right, because isha happen, you know. Ingekuwa ija happen. Yeah, ingekuwa ija happen, at least tungepata pia hizo advices kutoka maybe watu wameona relationship yetu, at least tungepata pia hizo advices fiti. Hiyo ndio timing yetu, but saisha happen.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Just wish for the best.
You are saying something?
Plus kila mtu ako na path yake. Kuna mwenye yake ita work out, mwingine ita fail, but sisi we believe it ita work out. So people should stop judging and stop being rude. Yeah, because I'm a human being too, I have feelings. So venye mnaongea and everything, just stop. That's all I'm begging. Yeah.
Was stop, huh?
Yeah.
Like I have a concern. Huh?
Yeah.
I love your story. I am an advocate of the babies already here. And the fact that you guys are intentional about wanting to bring it up together, that's beautiful, right? But let me ask one thing I've observed. You said you want to give her that fatherly love, right? That's something you can never give someone though. You get it? That's something you can never give her. All you can do is show up to her as her partner, as the father to her child. You cannot, how old are you?
I'm turning 24.
You're turning 24 because you're only 24. You understand?
Yeah.
There are a lot of things that come with fatherhood, and you will experience them now with your child, right? She's 19, which means if we take 24 and subtract 19, that's how many years?
4.
No, that's our 5 right
years,
there,
yeah,
right?
5.
That's our 5 right there. So which means you're only 5 years older than her.
Yeah.
So even if you are a father to your baby when you are 24, can you imagine being a father to your baby when you are 5 years? So you get what I'm saying? I get the connection, but I don't want you to bond. I don't want you guys to bond over what things you've lacked in your lives, because those things you can only feel. I'm trying to say hizo vitu zinaweza kumakia sense zikipewa kwako na mtu mwenye alikuwa anafaa kukupatia hizo vitu. All he can come in as is a partner. If you bond over what we've been through, the traumas we've been through, mta choose the wrong direction, because after hiyo kitu imeisha, after hiyo umempea father love nini, hiyo feeling imeisha. You get what I'm saying? Yes. You got a bond over beautiful things. Like, what's his favorite music?
Anapenda bongo sana.
There you go. You skiza bongo. What does he like to eat?
Ugali.
Hizo ndio vitu mnafahamu kuwe mnajali nazo, because I don't want you to put on this whole helmet of I'm gonna show up to her as a father. That's a very huge burden to put on yourself. You have to protect her as your girlfriend and as the mother to your child. But when we talk about you trying to fill in the gap of what she lost, that's something you might not be able to do, no matter how beautiful your intentions are. For you, Whitney, you cannot be his mother. You get what I'm saying? You cannot be his mother. Mom passed on when you were how old?
18.
So you see, you just turned 20. He is 18. If you try to be a mother to him, it's like asking a 2-year-old to be a mother to an 18-year-old. You get it? You guys can bond over how beautiful the mother cared for him. But I don't want you to go into it thinking you can ever give him the love the love he craves from his mother. You guys will bond over trauma, and then after that mtakaa muangaliane, then muone ni nini ingine tunapenda about each other. So it gotta be, those things that you love about each other. That's what will win. The qualities in him that you love, the qualities in her that you love, Of course, the baby is here, and I love what mom said. Mimi nitawasupport. Shule nitakusomesha hata ukiwa lakini huyu mfanye nini? Tujilele. I love that challenge, but it doesn't mean when you lack, you can never go to mom. Your mom is still your mom.
My mom.
But you see, with this also comes responsibility. I think part of having a child when you are young is understanding the responsibility that comes with it. Na pia isiwasikie. Mtoto hawezi kula 10,000 na day. Si ni kweli? So which means if you put on your one foot forward na wewe uweke ingine, you start small. If there is love, and you guys gotta really examine, are we in love? Because it's love that will win at the end of the day. Atakubo utambu, atafungua makabati, afungue mpaka yani he will open so many things, na hiyo kitu itakubo. Are you still able to look at him and be happy about it, na useme huu ni mtu wangu? Na wewe ukisikia when she's complaining about vyombo nini, that is actually her telling you, can you work on this? Is this something you're able to work on? To work on. You get what I'm saying? I feel like it's a beautiful thing that you guys are here. The baby is here, and there's nothing you can do about it, and you've chosen to bring in this baby in this world. But I don't want you to bring in the baby in this world over you are bonding over zile vitu tumego through.
Childhood trauma.
Their life has been hard for me, my trauma. So umsendi anani understand. Acha ikwe you understand him from a place of love. Na muangale, hey Warren, by the way, nimse, he's cute. Do you think he's cute?
very cute.
You see? Yeah. Do you think she's beautiful?
Yeah, she is a smile. I love.
What do you love about her? Let's go there.
Oh, what I love about her
Yeah.
so much. But first, physical maybe.
Anything.
A smile.
Oh.
And a childish behavior. Just this childish behavior.
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you love because she's now a mom. So as a woman, when you see her, what do you love about her?
As a woman, the way she treats me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She understands me.
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you love about him?
Let me say, Said, that now that I'm pregnant,
Yes.
he's the most caring person.
Wow.
Yeah, and I make sure craving niko nayo amejaribu as much as possible venye atafanya nipate
Yes.
whatever I want.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hata akiwa at his lowest. Yeah.
Okay.
Plus the moods zenye zinakujanga with the pregnancy, you know. Bado tu ana keep up nazo. Yeah, tutanyamaziana to 30 minutes then akuje tu aniambie na kuelewa and everything. Yeah, plus when we want to talk through things, he's always, ama nikipata shida somewhere, he gives me a listening ear. Yeah, and tuna find two solutions.
Okay. Beautiful. Warren, I'm really wishing you all the best in your career. What are you looking into achieving na career yako?
Career yangu, soon kwanza hii mambo ya YouTube channel. My plan is hii YouTube channel na stuff. At least itatupatia kama funds. Then I let Melissa take over. I take a different turn. I go into filmmaking because that has always been my thing now. I feel like Kenyan stories can be told in a better way, in a different way other than the normal stories that we are used to. I feel like with the film that is coming now, it's going to be an opener to my career.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Arudi up.
Rudi
Do you
hapo
think
tu.
some people think you are using her? Do you think that's the truth? Unamtumia Ajiel ni msee mdogo. She's so young, she doesn't know these things.
We are young, right?
You are 24.
I'm 24. Am I
Very
not
young.
young?
Yes.
I'm young, right?
Yeah.
Kwanza nilikwambia the thing ningekuwa nataka kumtumia.
Ungemtumia day one.
The first day.
Yeah.
She was open to me and she let me from the day one. So ningekuwa nataka kumtumia ningemtumia hiyo siku. Plus namtumia in which way? Kupata maybe fame and stuff. Because I was in a past relationship for 2 years. Na nilikuwa na hiyo idea bado ya kufungua channel. Na bado sikuwahi
Document.
Document. Because it's just that I feel like akona vibe yenye tunaweza match your vibe.
Akona energy
fulani. Sindio, you know her.
Yes.
Watch her, you know her. Akona energy fulani hivi amazing yenye Wakenya wanaweza taka pia kusikiza. Mbona she's also growing. Yes. The fact that tuna grow kwanza, she's even always more on the camera more than me. Ukiangalia sana hizo clips hata yeye ndio ana prefer sana akiwa kwa camera.
Yes.
Because I just feel like I just want to see her shine.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful. Yeah. Whitney, when your baby gets to watch this later on in life, unataka ajue nini kuhusu mamake?
I'm very proud that I decided kumkeep.
Yeah.
Na hajakuja into this world as a mistake. Yeah, and we really love the kid sana, and we are ready to do whatever it takes so that he or she can have whatever kenye tu anataka.
Good.
Yeah.
And this is your path.
Yeah.
It's your path.
Yeah.
Sindio. Warren, what do you want your baby to know about you? Let's go katafika kayanging kana watch mom na dad kwa TV.
Let's watch your dad here. Just know that we are so excited because it's like we are like John the Baptist. We are just preparing our way for you to come into our life.
Yes.
We're doing everything we can to prepare a way for you. Hatuja kuintroduce kwa social media through pregnancy ndio ati tulete fame juu tungekuwa tunataka tungeintroduce Jane the first day and tuli not tuko pregnant, but we have waited long enough to introduce you to the world like you're pregnant. So, we have waited long enough it was coming to an end. We are just left like with 2 months.
Yes.
To welcome you. Yeah, we are so happy with you.
Super happy.
Thank you for changing me.
Oh, I really have a soft spot for you.
Oh, thank you.
Go out and be amazing.
Yeah, sure.
No matter what, things you're struggling with.
Yeah, sure.
You are so young, you are 24, you have the whole world ahead of you.
Yeah.
Go out there and be amazing.
Thank you.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, thank you.
And don't be scared. This doesn't mean that your life, guys, has to be perfect.
Yeah.
It's a path. And I always say, you never find a path that is so straightforward. Kuna milima na mabo. Na so ikikuja munaipa. Don't msi perfect life now because there are so many eyes on you.
Yeah.
Live your life in an authentic manner, sindio? And you are so beautiful, very courageous. Uliamua kupea watu lecture mzima. Ukiamua we ni mbaya. Whitney, ukiamua we ni mbaya.
Niliamua tu nitulie, sitabishana na watu.
Good.
Yeah, na by the way, I'm not reading the negative comments.
Yes.
Right now I just want my peace of mind.
Yeah.
Staki anything in any stress. Just want to keep the baby afikishe miaka. Miezi, sorry. I have a safe delivery and everything.
You have such a beautiful smile. Enjoy it. This is a new experience to you.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. Take some time out even of social media.
Yeah.
Enjoy this feeling. Document it. When the baby comes, enjoy young motherhood.
Yeah.
And as I said, as you said, it's your path.
Yeah.
So for me, it's to wish you all the very best in your path. And even when
Thank
challenges come, just handle them. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Of course, you might not be equipped with all the experience you need, but none of us has it all figured out, And also when you get moments to talk to young people, also talk to them. If there is anything you wish you would have waited, tell them. If you feel like the challenges you're experiencing is something to talk authentically to the audience about, tell them the moments, the happiness, the joy. Also tell that to people, It's an experience, and an experience has different elements. It's not always happiness, it's not always sadness, it's yin yang, Beautiful things. Just embrace this moments and make the best. I just want you to concentrate on what the whole world is saying. Concentrate on what you're feeling. Deal with the two emotions you get, the two cravings you get it. But I can't let you go fast. I know you have a YouTube channel, and I want people to go and check it out, But before that, there's always something you guys do on TikTok. Nani ananzanga mwingine ni wewe? Aya, mwambie kitu na yako, mwambie kitu, mwambie leo baby unataka ashinde aje. Yes, ndio huyo hapo.
Na kuanganikisha turn on camera hivi, ashaingia in character. Okay, turn on. Turn on. Yes. Hey, good morning, baby.
Good morning to you, honey.
How was your night?
Perfect, and yours?
It was fine, baby. Have a good day to school, okay?
Okay, and stay safe, take breakfast, and take care of yourself.
Okay, baby.
Yes.
And make sure you take care of them.
That's your signature.
Yeah.
I think people love when that happens. They love to hear her, and they love to hear you on the bar.
Yeah, sure.
It's beautiful.
There's that voice she hasn't
toward even hata mimi naijua.
Watu ni wengi, I'm a bit shy.
No, but we love it.
Yeah, sure. You'll maybe attach the video.
I will attach. I'm actually attaching a couple of videos for watu wa watch me.
Yeah, sure.
Right?
Goodbye, baby. I love you. I love you the most.
I love you so much.
Take care, baby.
Bye-bye.
Niwamke kwa hiyo kitanda.
Sawa, baby.
Matresi inaisha.
Baby, usikwe hivyo.
I love you. Kisses.
I love you so much.
Baby, grab that kiss.
I grab it, baby.
Baby, you grab it like...
Throw it here then.
Oh.
Baby, no. Yeah, I'm sure they've watched that one. But where can people find you in case they want to follow your journey?
Oh, sure. Yeah, on Instagram,
Yeah.
you can always find us at. You can find me
Yes.
on Warren Frank 254.
Okay.
Then we have a Together channel, IG page. It's called Warren and Whitney.
Yes.
Then on YouTube, you can always find us on Warren and Whitney Lifestyle. Then on TikTok, it's Warren and Whitney. It's WW.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, there are so many people who are actually wishing you guys all the best, supporting you even online.
And we thank them.
Munataka kuambia nini?
Oh, anyone supporting us, we feel your love. Don't give up on us yet. We just started. We have more for you coming. We not let you down. We not start this thing alafu tumefika 2 years, 3 years. Tuachane, tutaendelea hadi to give our baby brothers and sisters. Yeah, sure. Yeah. So don't give up on us.
Yeah.
Hata sahi kama Melissa sema somi comments, najua kuna zile zenye ziko positive and I see them and at least najaribu kureply positive kwa watu. Kuna watu wengi baadhi pia bado wanakam to our DMs wanasema we like right now kuna kama over 20 ladies wamekam to our DM wanasema we have the same similar story like Whitney.
Yes.
So what I want to tell you is on your mistake, wajibika tu, kishafanya kosa lako wajibika tu. Yeah.
Tukisonga.
But pia kama unaweza pata chance ya kutoharakisha, you can still, you can still date, grow up without getting pregnant and preventing it from happening. Okay. But if it happens, just wajibika.
Wajibika.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, take responsibility.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, sure.
Whitney?
Yeah, I've also received a lot of people showing love, support. They are telling me, go girl, don't give up.
Yes.
Sisikize watu. Yeah, I'll just say thank you. Sijeza kureply zote juu ni watu wengi. But I'll summarize it all here.
Yes.
Just know I'm grateful and I'll keep going. I won't give up. And I know our love will go far. 20 years from now, we'll be back here with our baby maybe.
Akiwa 20? Good.
Yes. We'll still be back here to show you that love wins. Where there is love, love wins. It will always win. Yeah, for the ones who are showing us negative, I won't tawacha tu.
They'll get a reason to love us. Watatupenda tu baadaye. I hope maybe by the interview maybe now that they know us, so they will find maybe a reason to get our story.
And if they don't, it's okay.
It's okay.
I don't want you guys to weigh what you have based on who loves you and who hates you. You guys, you need to own this experience as the both of you. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Whether people are supporting you or not supporting you, it's you guys first and then the support later. Yeah. You get, because it's, if you support her, that's amazing. It's equal to 1 million of other people she doesn't know that wants to support her. Exactly. If you support him, that's amazing. My God, you put that too young. You're so young. You're so young. Yeah. But as I said, I'm wishing you guys all the very best. All the very best. And I'll always be here if you have questions, even off camera. Come talk to me. I'm just going to be here and I'm wishing you all the best, okay?
Sure. I feel like this was a therapy session more of an interview.
That's what we
need. You're so sweet.
Yes. You are a parent. Umetukalisha, umetuongelesha. And it feels nice at least ata roho zimetulia, akili imetulia.
Enjoy the process, the moment, ni yenyu. You document it. You don't have to even post it online, but document it for yourselves. Na muenjoy, na usalimie mom. Umsalimie kabisa. Warren, say hi to your people.
I will.
Okay? And keep going. Remember, it's an experience. Nobody says it has to be a straight path, you know. And don't rush for 20 years. Rush for this very moment that you have. Yenye mkona hatujui kesho.
Exactly.
Hakuna mmoja wetu anajua kesho. You gotta enjoy this moment that you guys have together. Okay. I've really loved talking to you. I'm giving you guys my best wishes.
Thank you.
No matter what.
Thank you.
I'm giving you my best wishes. And I hope you have a safe delivery. Sawa. Tumalize. Ambieni watu wangu bye basi.
Bye.
Bye. And then we're watching us. Thank you for watching us.
Good.
And thank you for having us here.
Anytime. And thank you for your patience. It's been a long day.
It's been a long one.
Yes, but I'm glad we got to do this. Wow, guys. It's been quite a learning experience. I mean, I say the best part you can have in life is to allow or create room for a conversation. I'm pretty sure right now you have a different perspective maybe about these two. And for me, all I can ask all of us to do is just, you know, just support them even spiritually, like prayers, so that they can also experience this moment and be happy about it. It comes with a lot of challenges, but maybe if we just send them good vibes, positive vibes. It's good to have an opinion, but it's also good when you realize someone also akona feelings and maybe they've gone through something that has led them to where they are right now. It's always good to have a conversation with someone and just understand them better. But I've loved having this conversation with them. Team LNN, send them your best wishes. Subscribe also to their YouTube channel. They didn't ask me to do that, but I feel that they're just so young and they just need to be supported and guided towards the right direction. So guys, just go and show them some love, you know, some good positive vibes. You know, that's what we are all about. And thank you for watching. Leave me your take home. And I feel like if you are watching this and me, there are a lot of things, even from just listening to them, that I feel like we also need to tackle and have honest conversations about, you know. And I love that they are getting to speak. When you listen to young people, sometimes you can't help but love them because they are mirror. They are mirror of our society. They are these things they are doing. They are not doing them as origin yao. They are learning these things and picking them from somewhere, and they are mirror of our society. And you know, I saw someone had posted and had asked, why is it that young people are feeling safe on platforms such as TikTok, etc. And if you're a parent, you also have to be able to ask yourself that question. What is it that my child sees in those spaces to make them feel safe? You know what I mean? So go and check them out, guys. Show them some positive vibes. Thank you for tuning in. And thank you to our incredible partners at TapTap for coming through. Send your money with that fast, reliable money transfer app. You can download it both on Android and Apple. Just go download it, send your money to your loved ones back home. Naeza too much IPL, like it's been a long day, you know, but you can always send money to your loved ones back home through M-Pesa or their bank accounts. And remember, if you use my promo code Lynn on your first transaction, you're able to get 10% cash back. The details are on your screen. It's been a wonderful journey doing this with the people at TapTap. We appreciate our partners. I say this work is not, production is costly. So when we find people who are able to just come through and collaborate with us, it's really appreciated. And of course to you guys, we are tufike tu 1 million subscribe. Najua tu kuna mtu anawochi channel ujawai subscribe. Ni bure. Man, just hit that subscription. Mkajua leo tumefanya shoots ngapi just to make sure we bring you guys beautiful content. Just hit that subscription button. It will mean a lot to me and my team. It's free, and it will make sure that our work gets to impact so many people, because the more you subscribe, the more watu wengi pia wanaona each channel. So road to 1 million subscriber. And just to remind you that I'm forever really grateful for your support and being active participants of this platform. If you are a parent and you are watching, I'm really interested. Before we do the parenting discussion, we are going to have a very beautiful show. I'll put it on the network. It's live, so some people might just want to come in. But before we have that parenting conversation, on the comment section, leave me what your observation from today's show is. And I keep saying, let's make this a safe space. So if you're gonna be negative about something, please just don't leave that comment. Like, there's a whole difference between negativity and positive criticism. So let me know on the comment section. See you hopefully tomorrow 10 a.m. Bye.